Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Right, Beanie? Beanie might come over and say hi. But anyways, this is another unpackaging video. This time, it's this package. I do not know what's in each package. However, I do have a general idea what could be in each group of packages. I'm just not certain as to which package it's in. In some of my past videos, they got my past few unpackaging and unboxing videos. They've gotten dark, and I've also mentioned and talked about briefly about potential new directions, not just for this channel, but also for future channels I might create. As things move forward in the future, I will be updating things. I will be buying a newer, better computer, and I will be editing more, and I will be doing potentially live streams once I get a few more things worked out. And I have a few major ideas that are going to really set things on fire here. So there's some growth potential that's going to go on here. It's just a matter of time and resources. Ooh, 2 books. They're 2 small books. What's this? Ah, yes. Handgun Fundamentals. This is going to be another one of those videos. Yeah, this is a nice little simple booklet. For the new shooter. Well, yeah, I classify myself as a new shooter. All the other, everything else I've ever shot before was basically BB guns. So, and I think I've shot a rifle at one point. Maybe it was a long time ago with my uncle. But anyways, this is a nice little book. It goes through all the proper steps. There's the introduction, and then we get past, there's a picture of the guy that's basically teaching us. Handgun safety, chapter 1, very important. By the way, the super majority of deaths by gun in the United States are by suicide and accident due to lack of knowledge when operating such a serious tool. And also, interestingly enough, the other book is something else entirely. It's something similar in vein, but different. Here we got, after the rules of safety, we got range safety rules. All the little rules, like always be aware of where you are. Always be aware of where your barrel is pointing. Trigger finger discipline. You don't put your finger on the trigger and point it anywhere near someone. When you are holding the gun, you take your finger out of the trigger and you hold it up. So your finger is not in the actual trigger, You're not in the trigger, your finger's out. That way, there's no accident. Pull the trigger, sneezing, or someone hits you and you pull the trigger, or you accidentally apply just a touch too much force and it goes off. It gets excited, little guys. Trigger finger discipline. Treat all guns as loaded guns. So, general rule, whenever you see a gun, it's loaded. Doesn't matter if someone tells you it's not loaded. It's loaded. All the time. Seriously. Wear eye and ear protection. Well, on the range, definitely, because they're all going off all the time. And the decibels in which a gun can produce is quite substantial. Ensure that you have a solid backdrop. Ensure a solid backdrop. My guess is that the target in which you're shooting at has something backing it that is capable of absorbing the projectile. That is my best guess. Is that correct? And I'll say that in the next few pages. Ensure that you have proper target identification. In other words, you want to know what you're aiming at for sure. And you want to know that that thing you're aiming at is a thing you want to be hitting with your gun. Okay? And no horseplay on target range. Just like in shop class, don't screw around, kids. Don't screw around, okay? And it goes through some various drills, stances, fixing a malfunction in your gun. That's nice to know. Steel pull, drill 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. El Presidente drill. That's neat. How to make your training day productive. That's good to know. There's a bunch of empty pages in the back. Well, this book is by Focused Fire Training. It's part of the LEAP, or Law Enforcement Advanced Programs. So it's in that law enforcement kind of area. And then the other book, Long Swords, The Beginner's Guide to Long Swords. I have machetes, I have various small axes and other hatchets and fun stuff. It's one of those things I've always wanted to learn, is how to use a sword. Oh, I'm getting into firearms and swords. So there. The book covers all kinds of fun stuff like forms, forms and stances, and the author is Stefan Frick. In the beginning, there was theory. Section 1. Section 2. Practice with sword-like objective. Section 3. Become a true beginner with more study. So you don't truly begin until you've already begun. So, oh wow, it just goes right off there. So it basically leaves you out as a beginner. It shows you various types of swords in the book. It's actually a rather nice looking book overall. Explains the parts and the areas of the sword. So the first section of the sword is basically describing the anatomy of the sword, or where it's sharp. That's important to know. And with swords, it's where it's sharp. Where it's sharp. Study tall with proper stance, chapter 3. Yeah, each section has multiple chapters inside of it. All your stances, foot positions, just moving in your stance, bend at the knees, not at the waist. Very good fundamentals. Types of distance. Various stances and how you step into the attack and out of the attack. Tempo, rhythm, and flow, so you know. Even dance steps for your sword. You always dance with your sword on defense. This is gonna be a fascinating read. The path. Get a grip. And they actually advise against that hold, even though I've seen numerous people, including Skullagrim and Shadavarsity, Shad from Shadavarsity, use that grip. On offense, there's a lot of interesting stuff. Become a true beginner. Section 3. Basic parry. The problem with the V. There's a lot of problems with V's, you know. Different guard positions. And general A position, general B, E counters, guards. I mislabeled when I said guard positions. That was actually the wrong set of photos there. Just me. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. And then in the back there is a little glossary of terms and what they mean. And also movies in which you can watch that have various sword fights in them, as well as movies that are not movies with swords that happen to have a sword fight in them. Movies with long swords. Movies with other swords. Non-sword movies with sword fights. I might actually cover a bunch of those and on the channel here. Hand protection, armor. See? So they even at the very back end of it, the nay more conclusion section, there's actually a bit more or talking about protection. Oh, that's interesting. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. If you dislike this video, you know what to do as well. And thank you very, 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 very much for stopping by and watching this video. And if you have any interest in what I'm doing, you obviously know that the subscribe button is a good option for that. As well as leaving comments below telling me what you think about each video is also nice as well. If you want to check out anything else in the future, that subscribe button also helps out with that as well. Did I say that already? Yes, I did. I've been drinking a little bit. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for coming back in the future, and have a wonderful evening, and happy, happy, happy New Year. Happy, happy, happy New Year. See ya.